Find the perfect ride for you today with the New Year New Ride sales event at Guam Auto Spot. Get behind the wheel of the 2024 Outlander Sport starting at just $22,995 or only $156 per paycheck. Visit GuamAutospot.com or call 671-478-AUTO.
Buy fuel, get Wendy's. Drive to your nearest 76 Circle K and get free Wendy's. Yes, free. Fuel up with $30 and score your choice of a 6-piece crispy chicken nuggets or a juicy junior cheeseburger deluxe. Fresh, hot, and packed with flavor. But hurry, quantities are limited and this delicious deal won't last long. So hit the road to 76 Circle K, fuel up, and get Wendy's free before it's gone.
You or someone you know looking for a job? Well, Sentinel Security is hiring and they're offering starting pay between $10 to $15 an hour, and they'll train you too. Email them today that you're interested at sentinelsolutionsguam@gmail.com. Sentinel Security, Guam's most reliable security solution for your home and your business. Kickstart your day with one of Wendy's Guam's breakfast faves, morning melt panini, breakfast burrito, or sausage, egg, and cheese English muffin. Your mornings just got delicious. Head to Wendy's for breakfast from 6 to 10:30 in the morning on weekdays and from 6 to 11 a.m. on weekends.
Good Morning Show with Torres is brought to you by 76 Circle K Guam.
Good morning, my friends. It is 11:46 a.m. on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. You like my hair? I'm growing my hair out a little bit, so I was able to slick it back. I need to get a thing to like hold it. Anyway, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. I miss you guys. Haven't been live in like a week or something like that. Well, I haven't been on one of these live shows where we have the commercials and we talk about the issues and all that stuff. So I miss you guys. Thank you so much. I was reading my name is Troy Torres, by the way. The reason I came on today was because I was reading an editorial published by the PDN yesterday called Our View, We Need Candidates with Integrity, Not Just Popularity. And I loved it. Must read. Get on the internet and read the PDN editor's opinion piece, which was published yesterday. And it got me to think, because among the things that the PDN editor espouses here is, look, how are you going to be different? That was what the main message I got from this was, how are you going to be the leader that we need? And here's one of the things they say. If a potential candidate couldn't even make a public stand on where a new public hospital should be built, to Muning or Manilao, or whether to keep or roll back the business privilege tax from 5% to 4% over fear of retribution, then how can that leader be trusted to make decisions and defend those decisions for the benefit of the public? Question that person's ability to stand for what he believes in. Very good point. Basically, what the PDN is saying is, where are the balls among all these candidates who are running for governor? And so the PDN only talks about the situation in Guam, but the situation's the same in the CNMI. You had one candidate for governor, is the late governor, Arnold Palacios, was the only one that really had any cojones there. He was the one that had the China pivot. He did all these things that were not popular in order to save the CNMI government, but he died, unfortunately. And now you have one announced candidate, BJ Atal, who's a member, I believe he's the vice speaker of the House of Representatives. Either he is or he was in the last term. And the term before that, he was the speaker of the House of Representatives. He has announced his candidacy for governor. Many people are anticipating that former Governor Ralph Torres, arguably or objectively, you decide, the most corrupt governor in the history of the CNMI, is thinking of considering or will be running for governor in 2026. Here in Guam, you have the guy who presided over the government and the family being accused of the largest political corruption case in Guam history, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, running for governor. He's already amassed what reportedly is close to $500,000 in a war chest, a campaign war chest, from the corporate elite, from the corporate corrupt. So you have these two forces in both the CNMI and in Guam who represent what I think reasonable people will believe are, these are the guys we cannot elect. Anyone who is for ethics, for public transparency and accountability, for honesty in government service, for just the end to the BS of all the people taking, of all the corporate elite who are placed on this pedestal as this tit for tat, this quid pro quo between the politically corrupt and the corporate corrupt, who share one common interest, and that's to fleece the taxpayers for their ambition and for their money. Sorry, for our money. And then you're supposed to have the opposing forces. We're supposed to feel good about our options in the race for governor, and the field is getting crowded, especially here in Guam. Now, there's one announced candidate for governor in the CNMI against Ralph Torres, and that would be BJ Atal. There is rumors, and if these rumors are true, then at least you have one candidate who has not talked about simply, but shown us a penchant for the fight against corruption, and that is the rumored candidacy of Kilili, Gregorio Sablan, the former delegate to the House of Representatives. Sandra Regis is asking, who's the guy in the bottom middle? That's BJ Atal. He is from the Commonwealth Legislature. Half a day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Here in Guam, you have 3 announced candidates for governor against Josh. Pardon me, I think 4. 4 announced candidates for governor against Josh Tenorio. One of them is a former senator. Hasn't been a senator in a long time, Marcel Camacho. He's going to have a tough time trying to show us what sort of leader he would be, because he's not in an elected office. I believe he is in, I don't know what kind of business he's in, but I believe he's in business these days. But you have 3 others who are members of the legislature currently. 2 of them are the heads of the legislature. You have Speaker Frank Blas, Vice Speaker Tony Atta, Senator Joe San Augustine. I have respect for almost all of these men. I am personally acquainted with some of them. But as a voter, that means nothing to me. I am not impressed so far with what I'm seeing from any of the gubernatorial candidates who currently are in the legislature of either the CNMI or Guam. And I'm not going to apologize for that either. This is just a observation as a voter. This is nothing personal. But also for those who are governor candidates who are in the legislature currently in the CNMI and Guam, you still have, a year and 2 months, a year and 3 months to show us that you can be a governor who will be different. You can be a governor who, at least in the beginning, we can trust. You can be a governor who will be a change agent. You can be a governor who will not be Ralph Torres or Josh Tenorio. We need to see very clearly an anti-corruption candidate. These people who are running for governor, who are members of the legislature now, have had for some time opportunity to show us that they are the anti-corruption candidates. They are the anti-corruption agents. They haven't shown us that so far. We haven't seen the legislation or the proposals or even the discussion about how the corrupt are going to be held accountable in both Guam and the CNMI. In the CNMI, that has meant for the past couple of years some sort of criminal justice reform, some sort of provision of resources to prosecutors and to the Office of Public Auditor to hold the corrupt accountable for the misdeeds that already have happened, or to make it easier, make it better for whistleblowers to say something and to not be retaliated against. In Guam, that has meant very recently the Republicans and even the Democrats. Joe San Augustine is a Democrat. Why would anyone in the Democratic Party want to continue to be associated with the Democratic administration of Josh Tenorio? Why aren't Democrats louder here in Guam in condemning the allegations against the administration and saying, look, if these allegations are true and there's a whole lot of evidence pointing to it, this is unacceptable. This is wrong. You can't steal from poor people and the federal government and get away with it. As the Democratic Party or as a Democratic candidate for governor, I'm going to stand. This is not what our party stands for. This is not what I stand for. There needs to be justice, and we need to be doing A, B, C, and D to make sure this doesn't happen again. I don't see Democrats doing that. Republicans who are newly in charge of the legislature, I don't hear a peep from them about that. And the two people who are in charge of the legislature are running for governor separately. Where is the commitment in the fight against corruption? Where are the proposals to prevent elected officials, cabinet officials, and their relatives to the third degree of sanguinity from bidding on government contracts or from subcontracting with winners of government contracts? Where's the campaign finance reform? Where is even a peep about the Tenorio corruption case from both Republicans and Democrats? Because if this is an indication, if their silence is an indication, and I believe it is an indication of the priority they do not place on public accountability, integrity in public service, honesty in service, then my friends might as well vote for Josh Tenorio and Ralph Torres. Because there is nothing that will be different if we don't have candidates in both Guam and the CNMI who will show us that they are the anti-corruption candidate so that they can do what is necessary if and when they get elected, if we voters are smart enough to elect the anti-corruption candidates, so that there can be systemic change, no matter how difficult that may be, no matter how many sacrifices that might take from those elected officials and from us, so that we can finally change things in our islands. For Candid News, I'm Troy Torres. I hope you read the editorial in full. God bless you, and I love you all.
We got that dynamite. We got that dynamite.
Find the perfect ride for you today with the New Year New Ride sales event at Guam Auto Spot. Get behind the wheel of the 2024 Outlander Sport, starting at just $22,995 or only $156 per paycheck. Visit GuamAutospot.com or call 671-478-AUTO.
Buy fuel, get Wendy's. Drive to your nearest 76 Circle K and get free Wendy's. Yes, free. Fuel up with $30 and score your choice of a 6-piece crispy chicken nuggets or a juicy junior cheeseburger deluxe. Fresh, hot, and packed with flavor. But hurry, quantities are limited and this delicious deal won't last long. So hit the road to 76 Circle K, fuel up, and get Wendy's free before it's gone.